Welcome back, everybody. BJ here from BJ Drinks Beer. Uh, Sorry I haven't been on. Well, actually, it's only been 6 days since no, I did miss a week. Yeah, it's been 13 days. So yeah, sorry I haven't been on. Been very busy with my other channel. It's doing really well right now. And if you're a wrestling fan, or even if you just can't get enough of me, you should definitely check it out. Anyway, today I've got one for you from Axe and Arrow. Thank you, Eddie, for hooking me up with this one. This one is an 8% hazy double IPA with Citra and Mosaic, and it's called Staring at Clouds. All right. About the color you would expect. Nothing out of the ordinary there. Pretty hazy. Definitely not transparent on the nose. Oh yeah, that citrus coming through heavy. Definitely getting the mosaic in there too. The dankness in the back end. Yeah, mainly though it's that citra up front, that there's citrusy notes, maybe a little orange, little pineapple, and then yeah, definitely that there's gonna be that dank earthiness there. Let's give it a try. Oh, excellent stuff. Um, Citra and Mosaic, you pretty much can't go wrong. You know, you know what you're gonna get with Citra and Mosaic, especially with the hazy IPA. Um, you know, they come together so nicely, and I guess it's just all a matter of ratios. You know, they work together well, but it's just how much of this, how much of that, you know. But yeah, this one is very chunky on the palate, very dank on the back end, but I wouldn't call it bitter. Very sweet and citrusy up front. Pretty easy drinking. Yeah, it's definitely pretty thick on the palate. Uh, Comes off as being real heavy, heavily oated. The uh, the front end, blah, blah, blah. The front end sweetness and citrusy notes stays with you a little bit longer than in your typical IPA, but the back end dankness really does a lot to dull it down. Yeah, very bright up front, and then just fades into that dankness and evens out. Man, I haven't had an Axe and Arrow in a long time. By the way, thank you, Eddie, for hooking me up with this one. I don't know if I said that already, but thank you. Yeah, I think I did. Now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, super drinkable. Once the taste buds acclimate a little bit, that back end dankness really, really dulls down a little bit, and not a lot of bitterness to it. Backs that up a little. I like that better. Yeah, I like that better. Um, yeah, it's coming. All around, very, very solid IPA. If you're enjoying this video or finding it helpful or informative, why don't you go ahead and drop a like? It helps with the algorithm and it makes me smile. While you're at it, why don't you give me a follow? My name is BJ Drinks Beer and I'm on Facebook. No, I'm not on Facebook. Well, I am technically on Facebook. I just don't really use that account. I'm on Instagram and YouTube. Um, if you've had this one or anything else from X and Arrow, why don't you go ahead and leave a little something in the comments and tell me what you thought about it. This one sounds good, sounds interesting, maybe something you might want to try, maybe ask some questions. Why don't you go ahead and leave them in the comments? If you would like to find this one, I can help you there. Joking House in Marlton does not carry X and but I'm sure you can find it around. I know, I don't really shop anywhere else, but I hear that it's a lot of places have a lot of different Axe and Arrow SKUs on the shelf, so you'll probably be able to find it around. Rating. I'm gonna give this one 4.5 out of 5. This is a very, very good double IPA. Um, Virtually no booziness and really not a lot in the back end to slow you down. Just that And it definitely has that back end dankness that keeps you coming back for more. Excellent flavor with this one. You can't really go wrong with Citra and Mosaic. Throw in some oats. Yeah, 4.5 out of 5. If you haven't had anything from X and Arrow, I definitely recommend you check out some of what they do. They're known for their sours, especially their smoothie sours, I guess you would call them, but they have all different types of sours. Uh, they do their dark stuff is what I was all about. I haven't really tried any of their lagers or any of their lighter stuff, but I know that they do a lot of that. And their IPAs are nothing to sleep on. Well, that's all I've got for this time. Until next time, cheers. But stick around. We are not done yet. We are just getting started. Um, just see something. Okay, we're looking good. I don't know why I had. Never mind. Um, Yeah, really enjoyed this one. Axe and Arrow, their IPAs have been hit or miss. There are some that I've had that I've really enjoyed, like Splatterbrain, and then some of them actually, yeah, and it's been so long since I've had any that besides Splatterbrain, I don't really remember any other ones. But that's all right. Yeah, really enjoying this. So next up, I have, I think it's an American style wheat beer. Um, Could be wrong about that. I don't know. I didn't really look at it, but gonna take a couple more sips of this, and go ahead and grab that. Yeah, this one is really good. I don't know if I would buy a 4 pack just because it's a little too strong for me at 8%. Like I tend to stay in the like 4.5 to 6 range nowadays. And even when I go closer to 6, like I definitely feel the difference. I've become a little bit of a lightweight, but you know, I can still enjoy a higher ABV beer. I just might not necessarily drink it as fast as I do with something lower ABV, obviously. But no, this one was very enjoyable and, more than halfway done in what, 9 minutes, you know. Yeah, so I'm gonna set that one aside. Go ahead and grab my next beverage. Let's see, what tune should I throw on for you? Hmm. There we go. Sunday night, something nice and chill for you. All right. This next one, no. This one is from Wanderbeck Beer Works. It is a hazy wheat ale, and it's called Cloud Drifter. This one comes in at 5.2%. Their artwork is always so on point. Look at that. All right. Super excited to try this one. Um, had their IPAs, had their lagers, pilsners. Never had a wheat beer from. All right. Yep, definitely super hazy on the nose. Getting those weedy notes that you would expect, but they're, excuse me, let me try that again. Getting those weedy notes that you would expect, but they're really deep down in there. Yeah, not very fragrant at all. It's pretty much all I'm getting is those weedy notes. Let's give it a try. Ooh, okay. Maybe picking up a little citrusy note, but if so, it's very, very subtle. Yeah, this is very straightforward. Yeah, your typical session wheat ale. I guess I guess you would call this an American style wheat ale. Definitely not a Belgian white. Yeah, but there's got to be some kind of orange zest or something in there because it's very bright up front, and then it just mellows out. You know, the weediness is not overpowering because I've had some different Belgian whites and different wheat ales where it was just too much. But this one, yeah, no, it's very balanced, very drinkable, very bright up front, and then that fades, and yeah, you're just left with that very drinkable wheat beer. No bitterness at all. Nothing drying you out. Yeah, again, very thick on the palate. I could definitely see grabbing a six pack of this if I'm planning on being outdoors on a Saturday afternoon or something, in warm weather. Um, very crushable, very thirst quenching, I guess you could say, although technically not really. Um, yeah, yeah, excellent stuff. I can definitely see a six pack of this in my future. If you're enjoying this video or finding it helpful or informative, why don't you go ahead and drop a like? It helps with the algorithm and it makes me smile. While you're at it, why don't you give me a follow? My name is BJ. Had a bubble in my throat. My name is BJ Drinks Beer, and I'm on Instagram and YouTube. If you've had this one or anything else from Wanderback Beer Works, why don't you go ahead and leave a little something in the comments and tell me what you thought about it. This one sounds good, sounds interesting, maybe it's something you might want to try, maybe you have some questions. Why don't you go ahead and leave them in the comments? If you would like to find this one will be available by the end of this week at Joe Canals in Marlton. Rating. I don't do a lot of wheat. I don't do a lot of wheat beers unless they're heavily fruited for the most part. And this one, not heavily fruited. It's just got a little bit of citrus. They have to maybe have added some orange zest or something on the front end. Yeah, because I'm picking it up on the front end. But yeah. So typically, I'm not just gonna get a straight Belgian white or American wheat ale, unless it's blueberry or strawberry or cranberry, whatever it is. But this one, yeah, no, I'm definitely picking up a six pack of this in my future. This one is excellent stuff and very easy drinking. Not over, not a lot of flavor intensity here, but it doesn't need it. You know, very simple, very straightforward, but very bright up front and very smooth. I'm gonna give this one a 5 out of 5. All right. If you haven't had anything from Wanderback Beer Works, I don't know what you're waiting for, man. These guys are amazing. If you're a Pilsner fan, if you're a lager fan, if you're an IPA fan, if you like dark lagers, whatever it is, wheat, whatever you're into, these guys are just going to be the best representation of that style that you're going to come across. Um, well, maybe not the best, but excuse me. But these guys, I mean, unmatched when it comes to pilsners and lagers. And IPAs aren't their focus, but their IPAs are pretty amazing too. Uh, yeah, if you haven't had anything from Waterback Beer Works, check them out. And hopefully this year the brewery will be opening up in Vineland, New Jersey, which is about an hour away from where I live. So I will be making my way down there if that happens, and I hope you do the same. But until then, that's all I've got for this time. Until next time, cheers. But don't go anywhere. I saw you reaching for that button. Uh, yeah, we've got to finish this. Ooh. Hey, what is going on, man? How you doing? Good to hear from you. Their can art, I mean, it's so simple, but it's so just amazing. Wanderback. Sam Faxonara, their can art's usually pretty dope too, but Wanderback, it's so simple. It's so uniform. You always know it's Wanderback, and just the color combinations and the patterns, just love it. All right, double fisting. Um, I have a cider and a bunch of THC beverages, and I do have more beer, but I've kind of like already reviewed it, and it's a bad situation anyway. I bought a variety pack, and I'm not gonna name the brewery, but if you follow my other page, you've been seeing me drink it all weekend. Even though I'll get there. Um, so I bought a variety pack on Friday, and I get it home, and I had a session IPA out of it, and I was like, you know what, it was good. Like, not my favorite style, but nice and crushable, whatever. And then later in the evening, I had a Pilsner, and I was like, wow, this tastes really weird. Like, it tastes like there's like lime in it, but like, I don't know. It was just really weird. And then later that night, I had an IPA, and that tasted fine. And then I had another session, and it tasted a little funky. And maybe it was just in my head. But then I had another one of the IPAs, and that was like it tasted fine, but like so anyway, to get to the point. Um, sorry. All of these beers in this variety pack were canned between late July and early August, uh, which I'm shocked the Session IPA held up and the Pilsner didn't. Like that doesn't really make any sense. Um, and the IPA, it's like more of a West Coast style, so I'm really surprised that like that held up. But you could tell it wasn't fresh. Um, you could tell it could have been better. But yeah, I mean, when you throw out 20 bucks and expect to have beer for the weekend, and you spend all day Saturday not wanting to drink because your beer's old. It's like it's super disappointing. And I guess I could have streamed, like that would have made sense. I wasn't doing anything else. But it was just one of those days where I didn't really feel like being in front of the camera. Uh, yeah. But yeah, man. So I got burnt on a variety pack, which is super disappointing because I know I've gotten the variety pack before. I've reviewed the variety pack before. And now you're putting it together and you're like, oh, I know exactly what that is. Um, yeah, yeah. Uh, exactly. Well, 180. What's that? 6 months? Yeah. Uh, so it should still be good, but it's super. It was weird. It was super funky, and I'm not gonna like go ahead and bust it out and drink it now and try to like. Maybe I will. Maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe that's what I'll do. But I think next up I have a cider coming. Uh, I from Armageddon. I did one from these guys a couple weeks ago, and it was their like dry, like regular cider. Now this one is like honey sweet, so this should be interesting. I don't do a lot of ciders. Uh, now if it was a variety pack, um, and I'm not just saying this because I bought it at my store, but if it's a variety, I knew what you meant. If it's a variety pack, was the date on the outside? This one, there was no date on the outside, but once you got it open, the date was on all the cans. So in that case, like, there's no way to really tell, you know? Um, and also now defending the store. Uh, the distributor shouldn't be selling product that old. They should buy what they need and, sell it within a reasonable time instead of, getting 6 to 7 month old. Yeah, so that's not the store's fault because the store has no way of knowing. You know what I mean? That's the distributor's fault for sending out old product. At least that's maybe I'm kind of biased, but no, I mean if there's no way for the store to know, you can't really blame the store. It's the distributor. Because I think the variety pack that I reviewed, the when I reviewed this, it must have been the same batch because that was like 4 or 5 months ago, and everything was really, really fresh. So, you know what? Maybe for science, I will. I have a Vienna, a Pilsner, a Belgian, an IPA, and a Session. I have more than that left, but they're the different styles that I have. So maybe I'll get there. I don't know. Um, as I'm like over here thinking like I don't want to be on too late tonight, I look at the clock and I'm like, wow, I haven't even been on for a half an hour yet. All right, let me get it. Let me keep it moving. So yeah, I'm gonna do the cider next. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Final answer. Doing the cider next. So everybody sit tight. I'll throw on some tunes. Like I said, it's agreed, agreed. Because you can't 100% of the time know when something was brewed and packaged. Like with some stuff, like you knew when it came out, if it's limited, but with variety packs, it's tough, man. You got to put a date on the outside of the package. I'm gonna scour that package, but I know I've looked and there's no date, which is super disappointing because now I'm hesitant to buy variety packs because, I don't. With some of them, I just don't know. And with some distributors, I know that all the stuff that they're selling is fresh. They rotate through it. You know what I mean? But this was like a bigger distributor who sells like Anheuser-Busch products, but it was one of their local craft brands. So I don't know if that tells you anything. But yeah, sit tight. I'm gonna go grab a cider. Let's see. It's Sunday, so I want to keep it chill. Do I have that one on here? No, I guess I don't. And I don't really have anything chill otherwise. Yeah, you know what? That's all right. We'll do this. Uh, yeah, forget about chill. I haven't heard that in a while. I haven't heard that one in a while. I was having fun with that. Uh, yeah. So this one is from Armageddon. Are they? Let me get it right. Okay. This one is from Armageddon Brewing. This one is a sweet hard honey apple cider, 6.9%. Wow, I didn't expect that. All right. This one is called Resurrection. Can't really make out the artwork there. What's going on? Some kind of pharaoh mummy type guy. All right. What makes us different from other cideries? The difference is our ingredients. Most other. Now I'm realizing I've already read this. Most other cideries add white sugar, water, and artificial ingredients to all of their ciders. We don't. Other cideries make overly sweet candy-like ciders. We don't. Armageddon Brewing is dedicated to creating the purest ciders using real ingredients. Taste the difference for yourself. And they list the ingredients, which are apples, honey, yeast, sorbate, and sulfites. Produced and bottled by, or canned, I guess, by Armageddon Brewing in Summerdale, New Jersey. I know I already did that, but. So I don't drink a lot of cider. The last cider I had was a dry cider from Armageddon, and that was very, very good. So I'm super interested to try this. Oh yeah, need to keep those paper towels up here. All right. No need to put a light behind that. On the nose. This is going to be really good. Um, Maybe a little too sweet, but I'm picking up a very sweet apple on the front end, almost like a candy apple. Let's give it a try. Oh, that is absolutely delicious. It's not as overly sweet as I thought it was going to be. All right, all right. Interesting. All right. Yeah, I mean, the flavor's excellent, a little boozier than I would have liked. The sweetness just doesn't do as much as I would like to cover up the booziness, but at the same time, it's not overpowering, it's not blowing you away. At 6.9%, I mean, with beer, I guess it's kind of different because there's a lot more going on. With this one, it's a lot more straightforward. So, you might pick up that booziness. Oh, yeah. Super crushable. I mean, the lack of carbonation lends to that, but super crushable, super easy drinking, light on the palate. The flavor, there's nothing unappealing, so it's one that you just want to keep drinking. Um, not as opposed to something where there's a lot of back end bitterness and you want to quench your thirst. This one is just it just tastes so good you just want to keep it coming. Oh my God, we're doomed. Right, right. And this is kind of more so that style, like it says sweet, but it's not like overly sweet. Like I know, yeah, woodchuck, it's just after one or two, you're just like, I can't do this anymore. But with something like this that's made with quality ingredients, it's a craft cidery brewery. You're not getting that. It's a more natural, it's more, I don't know, it just feels better all around. Uh, oh, I know. But yeah, no, this one, like, yeah, it's a completely different experience than an Angry Orchard or a Woodchuck or anything like that. I've actually, the more I've tried craft ciders, the more I've enjoyed them. And, if there's ever a situation where I have to go gluten free, I think ciders are going to be the way to go. Not that gluten free beer. Um, oh, and shout out to Rich, my man. Thank you for hooking me up with the samples. I can't, well, let me get to that. But stop by soon, man. If you're seeing this, come by. If you're enjoying this video or finding it helpful or informative, why don't you go ahead and drop a like? It helps with the algorithm and it makes me smile. While you're at it, why don't you give me a follow? My name is BJ Drinks Beer and I'm on Instagram and YouTube. And while you're at it, why don't you give my other channel a follow? BJ and DG Talk Wrestling on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch. Um, we talk wrestling. BJ and DG talk wrestling. That is what we do. We talk mainstream wrestling. We talk local indie wrestling. We do it all. So go ahead and check that out. If you've had this one or anything else from Armageddon, why don't you go ahead and leave a little something in the comments and tell me what you thought about it. This one sounds good, sounds interesting. Maybe it's something you might want to try. Maybe you have some questions. why don't you go ahead and leave them in the comments? If you would like to find this one will be available soon at Joe Canals in Marlton. I don't know how soon, but I do plan on bringing this one in because everything so far that I've had from Armageddon has been great, and they're local. You know what I mean? I have a couple friends who work there, and I feel like the cider drinkers at my store need to know about these guys and they need to experience it. So this will be available soon at Joe Canals in Marlton. I just don't know how soon. Uh, yeah. No, if I did that, I would be hooked. Um, there was a Hokkaido. It's a Japanese brewery. They export fruited lagers over here and like other fruited stuff. But their pear lager was one of the most amazing things I've ever had in my life. And like anything pear, I'm all about. Even when Red Bull had the pear cinnamon flavor, all about it. Um, so no, I could definitely get into that, but like I'm just gonna stick with beer for now after this one. Right. I'm trying to find a reason not to give this one a 5 out of 5. Me not being a cider drinker, I don't have too much of a basis for comparison. Having said that, this is absolutely amazing. 5 out of 5. If you haven't had anything from Armageddon, I definitely recommend you check out some of what they do. They don't really distribute too much, so if you're not in this area, you probably will not come across them. But if you are in this area, I definitely recommend you check out the brewery or the cidery or whatever you want to call it in Clementon, Summerdale. And yeah, and if you're in the area and just shopping at liquor stores, I'm sure if you look hard enough, you can come across these guys on the shelves right now. But if not, like I said, available soon at Joking House in Marlton. Yeah, that's all I've got for this time. Until next time, cheers. No, that's amazing. But stick around. Maybe it is. As far as I know, though, I mean, they can't mix alcohol and THC. Um, in fact, I have several non-alcoholic THC infused beers in my fridge right now that I've been avoiding drinking because everyone I've had so far has been terrible. So I kind of, don't really want to put myself through that, but I do for you guys. But I'm not doing that tonight. I might do that tonight. No, I have a THC beverage that I probably will enjoy a little bit more. But yeah, I have come across THC infused like apple juice. Not apple juice, but like I don't even know. It was like uncarbonated. I don't know what you would call it, but I mean Heirloom makes something like that. Uh, it's got a ton of sugar in it though, and I'm sure this does too. But this one, it wasn't cloyingly sweet. For being the sweet, the honey probably dulled down the overall sweetness. Even though honey's sweet in itself, it can kind of like just kind of take over and dull down any other sweetness and just kind of, I don't know if that makes any sense. But that probably is why this one wasn't overly sweet. Oh no, I really, man, I really can't wait to get this to Joking House in Marlton. I'm not a cider guy, but I could see myself becoming a cider guy. Yeah, no, this was amazing. should probably finish this first before it gets warm. Um, yeah, yeah, I gotta finish that fast. It actually, now that it's like warmed up a little bit, it reminds me of an old Forgotten Boardwalk beer, but I can't put my finger on which one. I don't know. I haven't. Wait, yeah, 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 definitely. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've come across. Yeah. Uh, I've never had a Moscow Mule in my life. That's what they use it for, I think. But no, yeah, at my store we have like with and without alcohol. I thought you were gonna say THC infused ginger beer. And I was gonna say no, I've never heard of anything like that. Oh, I'm determined to finish this before it gets like old and nasty. It reminds me a lot of something from Forgotten Boardwalk, but I really can't put my finger on it. Um, maybe. Oh my God, this kind of reminds me of Project Diana. Uh, maybe it's not that one that I'm thinking of, but either way, it definitely reminds me of something from Forgotten Boardwalk. Uh, I'm not going to put that up on the screen chat, but that's hilarious. Um, yeah, Forgotten Boardwalk. I'm a little late with this, but it's been just over 2 years um, since they closed. And you know what? Because the Danger Ginger is in the chat, I have to show this off. First, my can of Perrier for when, you know, everything falls apart from Forgotten Boardwalk. About maybe 6 months before they closed, they had an amazing event where it was a Spaceballs party, and it was so much fun. And then this, which is 2 years old, and I'm going to drink this next Leap Day because last Leap Day was the day the Forgotten Boardwalk closed. So next Leap Day, I pay tribute to them and drink my Bourbon Barrel Aged Gravity Road, which is the last beer in my possession. Not true. I do have a super old beer that's definitely no good by now, from Forgotten Boardwalk, but that will be the last drinkable beer in my possession. Uh, yeah, that was it. That was, but this is the Bourbon Barrel Aged. Yeah, yeah, you know what we're talking about. Yeah, it's been 2 years since Forgotten Boardwalk closed. Um, that place, I discovered it way too late. But if I would have known that it was there at a certain point in my life, I would have been there every day. And like, I'm glad that that's that's not the case. Um, but yeah, man, that place was amazing. And shout out to everyone used to. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to happen. There was some talk of it last year, but I haven't heard anything in a while. I think they've kind of given up at the moment. But yeah, shout out to just everyone who worked there and everyone who like hung out there. Uh, ooh, God. Ooh, 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 ooh. Let's go. All right. Ryan, Rick, Rich, Mike, uh, Lauren, Jamie, Seth, Chris, Ducky, Andrew, Gamal. Um, I don't know. I mean, if I could remember everyone's name, the list would go on forever, but I can't. So, but no, this is actually like bringing back memories of like I don't know this. Once this like started to warm up and oxidize a little bit, it reminded me. That's just bad things about Forgotten Boardwalk, but no, like once this like got to a certain point, the flavor reminded me a lot of maybe Project Diana, maybe something, definitely something I had on tap at Forgotten Boardwalk out of a glass in this shape, but not this glass. All right. Couple more sips, and then I will move on to a THC beverage. Uh, the I guess with the upcoming laws and everything, and what's about to happen, um, yeah. So funny you should mention it because Rich now works at Armageddon. Chris works at Ship Bottom. Um, Ryan works at Spellbound. Like everyone, like found a good place after that for the most part. I don't know about the owners, but I know all the employees like found like they're doing really well for themselves right now, which is amazing. Yeah. What was I saying? THC beverage. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I spend a lot of time there nowadays. Not a lot of time, but the wrestling events that I go to are like less than a mile from there. Uh, and then there's another brewery called Stratosphere on the other side. So it's like if we have the time, we'll go to Spellbound. But if we need a quick couple of beers, we'll go to Stratosphere. I, I'm just very happy that a place that I spend every Friday night is situated between two breweries. But yeah, no, the Spellbound guys are amazing. Such a great time there. I've gotten my homie Pete into Spellbound. He used to for it took him a couple visits. Uh, but then he found something he liked and now he's a fan now. Um, yeah, Spellbound's a blast. Uh, I'm still mad about that variety pack. Now that I'm thinking about it again. I almost want to, for science, like open another Pilsner, but is it worth it? I might, I might vomit. I won't vomit. Not yet, at least. All right. Uh, all right, DJ. Um, yeah, I'm gonna go grab that THC infused beverage I was talking about, but I'm trying to. There it is. All right. All right. All right. I made a decision for science. I'm gonna rate this Pilsner that was canned in late July. Let's do the math here. 8 months old. Just over 8 months old. It should be good, right? Like an 8 month old Pilsner, no big deal, right? Right. I'm not gonna finish this. I'm telling you that now. So I've had it before. It's a straight up Pilsner. I would say maybe German style. Oh, here we go. Classically styled, clean and crisp. Blah, blah, blah. A classically a classically styled, clean and crisp option for the light beer drinker and the beer geek alike. Our modern take on a traditional German Pilsner is golden in color and perfectly balanced. Okay. If it's anything like 2 nights ago on the news, smells like old beer. Like you get that weird breadiness up front where it's like, yeah, it's breadiness, but there's almost like a kind of chemical weirdness to it. Let's give it a try. Yeah, no, no, can't do it. Ugh. So the breadiness up front, like, just keeps going. And in the 8 months, the hops have completely faded. So you just get like an overly sweet, bready with nothing to like tone that down. This is gross. I'll take a couple more sips. Like I could do it if I had to. And like I get like I can taste that it used to be a decent Pilsner. But up front, it went from like, okay, no, 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 I've got it. Okay. So up front, it went from like breadiness, like subtly sweet breadiness, biscuity breadiness, to circus peanuts. I get when I sip this beer, I get circus peanuts up front. And if you don't know what that is, you're probably too young. But I get circus peanuts up front, and then on the back end, there's like the implication of, oh, there were hops here once. This is all that's left. Oh yeah, no, 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 yeah. So yeah, the sweet just intensified, and the back end dulled, and oh, I got a Vienna from these guys up next. Uh, yeah, no, um, tomorrow morning I'm gonna see the distributor, my salesman from the distributor, and I'm gonna be like, hey, look, I bought this variety pack. Everything was canned between late July and early August, and it wasn't satisfactory. I don't want to sell this to my customers. Get new product, you know? And that's it. And these are the sacrifices I have to make. I have to spend my $20 of hard-earned American money to buy a variety pack of beer that may or may not be good, just to see if this is something that I want to sell to my customers. I've been doing it for 6 years, you know. And this, Yeah, man, I gotta pull this off the shelf tomorrow morning. This is terrible. Um, I don't know how I finished one last night, but you know what? I hadn't even been drinking beforehand. Like, it wasn't even like I was like already drunk, so I didn't taste it or anything. Uh, yeah, no, yeah, I think I just kind of chugged it just to like, I don't know. It was a situation. Anyway, yeah, this is terrible. Um, I'm not gonna call out the distributor. Oh my God, it's the parent company I'd be calling out now because they just switched over. So yeah, Fedway, let's get some fresh beer in, all right? You'll hear about it tomorrow morning. Uh, yeah, super disappointing. And I kind of almost want to try the Vienna next. Um, my homeboy had one Friday night here, and he didn't say that there was anything wrong with it, but anything red right now, I think Oktoberfest season kind of killed me on the red. So I don't know if I'd enjoy a Vienna anyway, but I don't know. I see two people right now. What does chat think? What should I torture myself with next? Uh, I'm curious about the Vienna because that's the only thing from this pack. Not true. That's one of the only things from this pack I haven't had yet. There's Belgian also, but the Belgian's fine. It's an 8% Belgian. It's gonna be good for a couple more years. But yeah, I don't know. Anyone? Vienna, or I have a St. Patty's Day beer that's presumably fresh. Uh, but I'm not finishing this, and I'm surprised I'm about to take another sip. You know what? Ooh, that sounds okay. That sounds amazing. Hold on. See, that's something I couldn't drink alone. I would have to invite at least one other person over to help me drink that. I have a 10% coffee stout, uh, 750 bottle, wax top, bourbon barrel aged, um, that like it's 4 or 5 years old just because I haven't been in the right situation where I've had people over to help me drink it. Okay, nice. Um, and honestly, right now, if I didn't have to work in like 11 hours, I would totally drink it. But I have to work in 11 hours, so I'm not drinking it. I'll show it off though. It's naked though. So I think it's called Big Ben, but homeboy Eddie, who gave me the Axe and Arrow beer, used to work for this brewery back when they were open 5 years ago, and gave it to me without a label. So I can only hope it's a bourbon barrel aged stout, porter, but I don't know. Eddie's shifty, man. He could have just given me whatever. You didn't hear that from me though. Um, I kind of want to like look it up because I know he gave me that and like a rosé gin barrel aged thing. But I remember this was called Big Ben by 7 Mile. When am I ever gonna drink that? I mean, I'm not gonna drink it recreationally. I mean, it's gonna be on camera. Yeah, dude. We'll do what you gotta do, dog. Thanks for stopping in, man. We'll talk at some point, man. I've been super busy, but we'll get up at some point. Go with the theme song. Oh no, here we go. We'll go with this one. But I'll leave my mic on so you can hear me dump this thing. Alright, maybe you didn't hear that. Oh! Alright, well, science sucks. So this might end the same way. I'd like, as soon as I hit the button to like pause the music, I was like, oh man, I was rocking out tonight. By the way, all music that you hear on BJ Drinks Beer is BJ Drinks Beer, own creation. I only use my own stuff. So, I don't get many copyright claims. And if I do, it's because someone plays the SpongeBob SquarePants theme song, and Russia's not cool with that. And Belarus also doesn't like that. But yeah, um, I'm gonna have to deal with some red beers. It is March next week. St. Patty's Day is like what, 9 days away, 8 days away, something like that. So I'm gonna have to deal with some red beers. Might as well have this Vienna. So this one was canned, oh my God, in late June. And well, my homeboy had a can of this from the same pack on Friday, and he didn't complain. I don't know if he was just trying to be nice, but either way, um, yeah, we'll see how this goes. I've had bad luck with the pack so far, and I didn't realize that this one was canned like what, almost 10 months ago? Oh my God, here we go. Oh, nope. Yeah, no. It smells like a coin. Oh, yep, yep. Ooh, I can't even sip this. I'm not even gonna sip this. Sorry. Yep. Really wish StreamYard had a fade out option for music, because that would have been a perfect. That's all right. Time to drink a fresh beer. Um, this one is from Slack Tide. It's an Irish style red ale. This one is 5.3% and is called Paddy's Hole. Just checking out the artwork here. I thought it was like just at a glance, I thought it was a frog fishing, but it's a dude like dressed up like a leprechaun fishing. Uh, anything to read? No, no, no. All right. So I got to get myself reacquainted with the red. Did I mention this one's from Slack Tide Brewing Co? I don't think I said that. Uh, well, I am not clipping this one. Yeah, Slack Tide from Cape May Courthouse, New Jersey. Got beer all over my hands. On the nose. Yeah, no need to get a light behind it. Yeah, it's got that like toffee sweetness. Like, oh my God, it smells so sweet. Like, so just sweet and rich, and I don't think I'm gonna like this one. I hope it's not a hat trick of dumps. Let's give it a try. No, it's actually really good. Um, yeah. I'm really enjoying this one. The maltiness is like it's almost like a faux chocolatey maltiness. Uh, you get all kinds of notes in there. Bubble in the throat. Again, you get all kinds of notes in there. Hints of toffee, like a biscuity, like bready, almost like a peanut brittle type flavor. Um, no, this is really, really good. I'm really enjoying this one. I didn't think I was going to, not because of the brewery, but because of the style. But yeah, this is an excellent Irish red ale. We're getting close to St. Patty's Day, so everyone's putting out their Irish this and Irish that. And for me personally, I've had two six packs of Irish Queen in the last 2 weeks. Uh, but that's as far as it's going. I know we have like Schlafly's Irish Stout and uh, Zero Gravity. Sorry, that was abrupt. Zero Gravity has a really, really good looking Irish style porter that I'm probably going to pick up at some point next week. But yeah, with all of that going around, I just haven't really jumped in. I think yeah, next weekend stream is probably going to be all like St. Patty's Day inspired beers. I might even have, I'll probably end up having to buy them all too, which whatever. Uh, but um, but yeah, I've been avoiding it, and I mean, this is really like turning me around. Um, it's not outright sweet. There's sweetness in there, but it's more of like a biscuity breadiness, almost peanut buttery maybe. Hmm. Yeah, this is amazing. I can't really put my finger. It's like super easy drinking and like super. full flavored at the same time. Like nothing in the back end to slow you down. It's all up front, and then it kind of fades in the sip. Um, Not overly sweet on the front end either. That maltiness is the star here. Yeah, super smooth, super easy drinking. Sweet but not cloyingly sweet. Yeah, wow. I think I don't know. I wish I would have taken a sip of that last Vienna. Um, I'm actually really glad I didn't, but I'm not about to go out and buy a bunch of Irish red ales or anything either. But this is really eye-opening. I didn't think I was gonna like this one at all, and it's really, really enjoyable. If you're enjoying this video or finding it helpful or informative, why don't you go ahead and drop a like? It helps with the algorithms and it makes me smile. While you're at it, why don't you give me a follow? My name is BJ Drinks Beer, and I'm on Instagram and YouTube. And while you're at that, why don't you give my other channel a follow? BJ and DG Talk Wrestling. It's a wrestling channel. Um, if you've had this one or anything else from, I almost said Slap Tide. If you've had this one or anything else from Slack Tide, why don't you go ahead and leave a little something in the comments and tell me what you thought about it? This one sounds good, sounds interesting. Maybe it's something you might want to try. Maybe you have some questions. Why don't you go ahead and leave them in the comments? If you would like to find this one, you're not going to find this one at Joe Canals before St. Patty's Day. And which kind of leads me to believe you're not going to find this one at Joe Canals. I don't know where this one might be available. This was a sample. Uh, but now I regret not bringing this one in. This is very, very good. And next year, next year at Joe Canals and Marlton, we will definitely have this one. But this year, don't expect to see it. Rating. I'm going to give this one a 4 out of 5. Super drinkable, super crushable. It has the implication of sweetness, of cloying sweetness, but then doesn't get there. The rich maltiness definitely it's the maltiness excels as opposed to other red beers. This one I can't even talk anymore. Yeah, I should probably stop drinking at this point. Uh, yeah, what did I say? 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5. All right, that's all right. I can still edit it, but I never will. If you haven't had anything from Slack Tide, I definitely recommend you check out some of what they do. Uh, Angry Osprey. Why couldn't I think of that? Angry Osprey. Excellent stuff. You know what? Slack Tide. Check them out. I gotta get out of here. I'm gonna finish that off. Everybody, thanks for stopping in. Thomas Metal, the Danger Ginger, whoever else might have dropped in. Thank you. If you have any questions or comments, you know what to do with them. Leave them in the comments and post. Uh, Everybody have a wonderful work week. Uh, I Hopefully it's an easier week for me than last week was. Um, as far as like the physically demanding part, but I'm off to a good start. I only have about maybe 200 cases coming in tomorrow when normal Monday's about 600. So, yeah, everybody have a great week. I'm 90% sure I'll be streaming. I'm 90% sure I'll be streaming again on Saturday. Saturday afternoon, maybe. Maybe Saturday night. I don't know. But I don't have any other obligations Saturday to my knowledge. So at some point Saturday, I'm going to drink some beers on camera for you. Um, I don't know what those beers are going to be. I cleared out all of the samples, all the beer samples. There's a bunch of THC beverages. I just haven't been into them lately. Haven't been feeling it. Um, but yeah, I don't even know. We'll see. If there are any beer salesmen out there, anyone from distributors, brand reps, whatever, liquor, THC, come bring me samples. I need something to drink next Saturday. Well, that's all I've got for this time. Until next time, cheers. Yeah, that's all I got.